Greetings to you from wherever you're watching us this evening. It feels good to be here. I invite you to join me on this ride as I take you on a trip across the money spinning world of sports. I'm Yemi Adebayo. Well, of course, as you already know, Wednesday nights always reserved for tidbits. It's the abridged version of the show. We do our best to let you know what's happening across the world in your amazing and fast-paced, also money spinning world of sports. And tonight will not be different. There's a lot happening. As we speak, UEFA Champions League matches currently going on. 2 games already concluded. We'll tell you about that as we move on the show. But let's start from home. Charity, they say, begins at home. So let's start from home. Let's start with what came out today. Sports Ministry has approved the request of Nigerian Volleyball Federation to host the 2021 African Women's Under-18 Championship. That's a piece of news we're starting with tonight on the show. I said that again. Federal Minister of Youth and Sports Development has approved the request of the Nigerian Volleyball Federation, that's the NVBF, to host the 2021 African Women's Under-18 Championship. The championship is scheduled to hold at the MK Abiola National Stadium in Abuja from January the 29th to February the 7th. The ministry has asked the federation to sort for corporate sponsorship for the continental tournament as it cannot afford to assist owing to shortage of funds. Meanwhile, Nigeria Volleyball Federation is organizing open trials for the players at the Ahmadu Bello Stadium in Kaduna from December the 10th to 13th to select players that will be invited into the national camp. So that's it on volleyball. 2021 African Women's Under-18 Championship, Nigerian Volleyball Federation to host the continent. All right, let's quickly go on and talk about the Super Eagles tonight. A lot of people have looked at the performance of the Super Eagles in that double header against Sierra Leone, talking about the AFCON qualifiers. A lot of people have looked at it and said so many things, different reactions from different corners. Stakeholders have had their say, the fans have had their say as well. As it stands, Nigeria currently leads the group. Our destiny is in our own hands.
When we hire a technical advisor, when we put our faith in the hands of some people, we expect some return. We're going to sit back. We're going to review what has happened. We'll review the entire team. We'll look at our players, whether they're qualified or not, whether they're ready for the team. We'll also look at the technical advisor. We'll also look at the entire people involved with football administration and the Super Eagles.
I'm sure before we go for the next tournament, 2 or 3 other players with Nigerian blood will be discovered and they will be invited and we will start all over again. And when we fail, they say, we are building a team. We are building a team. It has taken us 4 years without building a team. So the NFF and the technical should tell us how many more years do they want.
When they put their hands together and do the needful, Nigeria will get the result. It's so disappointing when we are here debating if Nigeria will qualify or Nigeria will not qualify. It should be our birthright, considering the fact, considering our record in Africa.
All right, a ticket to Cameroon in the 2014 tournament still within reach. That's how that report ended. And I guess a lot of people agree with that. Our destiny is in our own hands, but a lot could happen. And hopefully at the end of the day, we'll not start using calculators. Nigeria could have qualified with 2 games to spare, like Senegal has done, like Egypt as well, a couple of other teams, Tunisia, a couple of other teams. Well, I'm not sure about Egypt, but Tunisia and Mali, some of the other teams that have qualified with 2 games to spare. So we'll see what happens. They'll be back on the field next year, March, when they take on the Squirrels of Benin Republic. We'll see what happens. And the last game will be against Lesotho. Hopefully before that game, we would have sealed our place at the next edition of the African Cup of Nations. So this is wishing the Super Eagles all the best when they take to the field next time in the qualifiers. All right, let's move on the show. Let's talk about one of our teams on the continent. Let's talk about Plateau United. Of course, we started a series, Know Your Club. But let's quickly tell you what's happening then. We'll do a little on Plateau United. Piece of news, Plateau United off to Dar es Salaam for the second leg of that preliminary round against Simba Sports Club of Tanzania. And let's just quickly tell you that the contingent that traveled for that game that will be played on December the 5th includes 20 players, technical crew and management, led by the Plateau State Commissioner for Youth and Sports Development, Victor Lapang. The team is expected to connect Dar es Salaam through Addis Ababa. Needless to say, Plateau United lost the first leg 1-0 and will need 2 unreplied goals to qualify, or any victory that has a 2-goal margin. That's what it will take for them to qualify. So we'll see what happens in that one. All right, let's continue with the series that we have started. It's called Know Your Club. We're doing this in anticipation of the start of the new Nigeria Professional Football League season. Earlier we had reports it's going to start this weekend, but of course no confirmation yet. So it's to be or not to be. But of course that won't stop us from doing what we have started, Know Your Clubs. So start with Plateau United, Know Your Club. Club was founded in 1975. They're nicknamed the Peace Boys. Home stadium, Jos International Stadium in Jos. A Twitter handle. I've always talked about some of these clubs not being active on social media. Plateau United, one of the few exceptions. Plateau United, a Twitter handle at Plateau United. Coach Abdul Makaiba is the coach of the team. The captain spoke on the show a few days ago, Elisha Golbe, and of course you have the administrator, Pius Hemman, is the man in charge of the team. So that's Plateau United. Tomorrow we'll give you another team just to make you know and be aware of the activities of the clubs on in the Nigeria Professional Football League. So what is Plateau United? What have they been up to recently? What have they been up to? That's it on your screen. Let's talk about some acquisitions that Plateau United, what they've done. Sunday Adetunji comes in from Abia Warriors. You also have Adamu Abubakar from Wiki Tourists. You have Dennis India from Akwa United. Abdulrahman Bashir needs little or no introduction when you're talking about players on the domestic scene. Comes in from Eyimba. Wasiu Jimo comes in from Sunshine Stars. And you have Moses Effiong from Dakada. Those are some of the players, newly recruited players for the Peace Boys, as they are known. Talking about Plateau United. Still on the domestic scene, where do we go next? Let's quickly talk about former Super Eagles coach Salisu Yusuf. What's the news about Salisu Yusuf? He has extended his contract with the Flying Antelopes. That's talking about Enugu Rangers. And of course, he will be in charge until 2022. Initially, it was a one-year deal. On the strength of his performance in that initial one-year deal, he now gets a 2-year contract extension, and we'll see how far he can go with the team. Of course, Salisu Yusuf is someone who has been there, done a lot with clubs on the domestic scene, and of course, his employers have seen that he has a wealth of experience, and they will be able to bring that to bear for the Flying Antelopes. So we'll see what happens. Fingers crossed, we'll see what happens. And hopefully, when the league resumes, hopefully the results will justify the trust that the club has placed in Salisu. Let's also talk about another football manager on the domestic scene that's very popular. Also, I dare say, someone who also needs little or no introduction. Next person is Kennedy Boboye. And what's the news about Kennedy Boboye today? He also signed a contract extension that will keep him at the club till the end of the 2020-2021 season. Even though the season has not started yet, but we'll keep him there. Boboye joined the Promise Keepers. That's what Akwa United are known as last season, and he has been mandated to win the league title for the first time in the club's history. That's what he's been brought in to do for the club. Akwa United also unveiled their new jersey design for the new season. So, contract extension for the coach, unveiling of new jersey, all of that part of the package as Akwa United prepares for the new season that we hope will start soon so that we can get a full season and not get an abridged version. All right, let's still talking about coaches, a lot happening with coaches, and we're here to talk about them, their movements. Let's talk about Calabar Rovers now and talk about this man, Samson Onwanel. He has been unveiled officially as the coach of Calabar Rovers. Calabar Rovers, a team that, I mean, used to be on top, used to be in the top flight, but of course, the things didn't go as planned, and over the years, they've been in the doldrums. They've been trying to fight their way back into the top flight, and one of the things they're doing is what you have on screen. They've brought in an experienced tactician in Samson Onwanel, who has made it clear that he has ambitions. He's a very, very ambitious man, and he hopes to bring Calabar Rovers back into the top flight. The club's race is ready to give a good show in the coming season, and that's why they've decided to hire Samson Onwanel, and of course the Edo-born tactician who has coached teams like Ocean Boys, Akwa United, Kwara United, and Sunshine Stars in the past, says he joined the team with the intention of making the club one of the best in the league. Also, there's the little matter of getting into the top flight. But let's listen to the new man in charge of Calabar Rovers, Samson Onwanel, talk about his plans, his ambition, and his reason for joining Calabar Rovers.
I have a program that by the special grace of God, we will be able to play in the next level of football next year. I want to concentrate on the home talent first. If I can pick 35 from home, I will be satisfied. I am not coming with any players until I cannot find a suitable ones from home. That is when I will go out and bring players. By the special grace of God, my plan is to make sure I add Calabar Rovers to the list of Teams I've promoted to Premiership. I want to make this club my last club in Nigerian League. I want to go out. I want to go out and coach. And without result here, it will be difficult for me to make that work. So I am going to go for any trophy that is available.
On the show, we've crossed the finish line. We've come to the end of the show for tonight. It's the abridged version. We'll be back here again tomorrow to do what we love doing best, which is taking you on a trip across the money-spinning world of sports. I'm Yemi Adebayo. Bye-bye now.